Hello and welcome everyone. We are thrilled to have you here today, however and wherever you may be joining us. My name is Phil Duncan and I'm the Chief Design Officer for Procter & Gamble. And I have the privilege of being your host for today's very exciting P&G Ventures Innovation Challenge. First, a little bit about P&G Ventures. It's where our serial entrepreneurs live. It is the early stage startup studio inside P&G, which partners with startups, entrepreneurs, and inventors to create and build new brands and categories where P&G does not serve our consumers today. You can learn more about P&G Ventures at PG Ventures Studio, that's all one word, pgventuresstudio.com. So, this is the fourth year that we're hosting the Innovation Challenge in tandem with CES, the Consumer Electronics Show. And P&G is participating in CES virtually this year, as we did in 2021, and we're hosting the challenge virtually as well. So we're not all in Eureka Park, but we're still super excited that you're here and to talk about today's Innovation Challenge, because boy, do we have some wonderful finalists for you to see. And if you are joining us during CES, I encourage you to visit our virtual booth at pglifelab.com, where you can explore our latest innovations from Gillette, Oral-B, and our newly launched Beauty Sphere. So, last fall, we put out a call to entrepreneurs and startups to submit their consumer product innovation in areas such as active aging, healthy skin, food waste reduction, and non-toxic home and garden. The result was our largest ever number of entries and highest percentage of female founders and founders of color, if that's not awesome. And after evaluating all the submissions against a number of criteria, 4 finalists were selected, and you'll meet them all here shortly. Each of the finalists will have 10 minutes to pitch their innovation, and then our panel of esteemed judges, who you'll also meet here in a minute, will have 5 minutes to ask questions. Following all the pitches, the judges will have about 10 minutes to deliberate, and the winner will be announced. Our winner gets a cash prize of $10,000 and the opportunity to work with P&G Ventures to continue developing their innovation. And exciting today, after the presentations, please join us on Clubhouse, where the Startup Club will host an exclusive conversation with all 4 of our finalists. All right, so let's get started and first introduce you to our wonderful panel of expert judges. All right, so I think they're going to pop up here for us all to see. There they are. So I'm going to start with some colleagues of mine. I'm going to start with Guy Perceau, who is the president of the new business for Procter & Gamble and responsible for ventures. Hello, Guy. How are you?
Bill, how you doing? It's great to be here. I'm super excited. I know we're doing this virtually, but hopefully that gives more people a chance to listen in and join in that might not otherwise have had the chance in Vegas.
So agree, Guy. And I'm loving the scarf. It's apropos for the weather around here today. On to Victor Aguilar, who's our Chief R&D and Innovation Officer for P&G. Hi, Victor. How are you, sir?
Hey, Phil. Great to be with all of you today.
Great to have you, Victor. Innovation is your calling card. All right, on to our really special judges. Saeed Amidi, who is founder of Plug and Play Tech Center, a global innovation platform that connects blue chip companies with the brightest startups from across the globe. Saeed, nice to meet you.
It's great meeting you, and it's a great pleasure to be here with the P&G team, and I'm looking forward to getting to know the 4 fantastic startups.
Awesome. Well, we're really thrilled to have you with us. So again, thank you for your time. All right, next, Sarah Anderson, founding partner of Vault Fund, a fund of funds focused on leading venture studios and company builders. Sarah, welcome. Glad to have you with us.
Hi, thanks for having me and thanks for hosting. I also am very excited about the 4 finalists. It's going to be a really fun and entertaining competition.
And I think hard choice to be made, but welcome. And finally, also to Lee Henderson, who is Ernst & Young America's private leader and executive sponsor of EY's Entrepreneur Access Network, where he serves as a fervent supporter of young entrepreneurs and as a connector across the entrepreneurial ecosystem. Lee, welcome to you too.
Thanks, Phil. Great to see you and glad to be here with everyone. And also just I'm super excited to be here and experience these wonderful entrepreneurs.
Super. Thank you, Lee. All right, so we're going to go ahead and turn our attention to our exciting innovation finalists. And our first to go today is Kimba Williams, a co-founder and CEO of Kushae Naturals, an all-natural pH-balanced doctor-formulated feminine hygiene product line made by women for women. Kimba, welcome, and over to you.
Thank you, Phil. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you for having me. Ladies and gentlemen, take a look at the image on the slide. If this image is shocking to you, wait until you hear about the statistic behind it. According to breastcancer.org, 1 in every 8 women will be, not might be, but will be diagnosed with breast cancer in her lifetime. One of those such women was my co-founder, Dr. Barbara McLaren, a board-certified OBGYN who at the age of 38 was diagnosed with breast cancer. After undergoing a double mastectomy to save her own life, she discovered toxins in her breast tissue that were specifically related to the personal care and feminine hygiene products that she used every single day. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Kimba Williams, and I'm the CEO and co-founder of Kushae. After 15 years in the pharmaceutical industry, I was passionate about joining forces with Dr. Barb to create the first and only doctor-developed, non-toxic feminine health and hygiene essentials line for more than just periods. Let's get into it. Now, why more than periods? Well, you know why. Anytime people talk about feminine health and feminine hygiene, what do you think about? Tampons, pads, and periods. Well, I'm here to tell you that feminine health and hygiene is actually more than just that. In fact, every day, millions of women everywhere are struggling with what we call the secret side of feminine hygiene. Ladies, it's the cleansers that don't dry you out or irritate you down there. It's worrying about sweaty odors because you want to lead an active lifestyle. It's new moms discovering challenges that they never knew they would have, and so much more. But because these topics are so taboo, women are too shy to talk about them. And they typically sort of creep by retail store aisles just looking for lotions and potions in the form of solutions. At best, these solutions are ineffective, and at worst, they're actually dangerous and could be detrimental to their lives. As a fact, according to 2017 Harvard Medical Research paper, 95% of feminine care products found on store shelves today contain dangerous toxins and carcinogens that are specifically linked to infertility, ovarian cancer, and similar to what probably happened to Dr. Barb, breast cancer. So exactly how are women supposed to find everyday feminine health and hygiene products that are safe, gentle, and effective? Well, the answer, ladies and gentlemen, is now Kushae. Created by an OBGYN, Kushae is the first full suite of non-toxic, natural feminine health essentials for every woman, from menstruation to menopause. We are serving and creating solutions to women that manage their life cycle and not just their monthly one. Now, before we go into it, I want to make sure that we're all on the same page. Feminine health and hygiene is a large opportunity with a $53 billion total addressable market. And what's even more shocking is the fact that the menopausal market alone is a whopping $600 billion opportunity. Hope I have your attention now. Now, because of such a breadth of opportunity in this particular market, Kushae was very intentional about creating products that spanned across a woman's life cycle. We've identified 5 major segments in the feminine health and hygiene market, including the first and largest product segment, which is the daily health and hygiene segment. That particular segment features our #1 product, our Gentle 2-in-1 foaming wash. It's an intimate wash for women to be used just in their intimate areas or all over. Our natural deodorant spray, our post-mastectomy massage balm, and so many more. In total, there are 7 products there. The next segment is our BV and yeast infection segment that features our boric acid suppository for rapid effectiveness for prevention and treatment of BV and yeast infection. Third segment is our internal vaginal dryness segment. We've got currently 1 product there, but we are working on a product that is going to be a game changer in that particular segment. Fourth segment is your best friend, the menstrual segment, featuring our newest product, the Kushae menstrual cup. And then fifth, but certainly not least, is the menopausal segment, where we have products that manage vaginal dryness, itch, and irritation for women in their menopausal stage. Now, because of the breadth of products that Kushae has, 13 currently and more in R&D, we actually have a huge brand reach. With 82% of our customers over the age of 35. We are a very inclusive brand because we serve all types of women, and we're proud of that. Every size, shape, ethnicity, you name it. Most of our consumers are moms, and they all enjoy and prioritize a healthy lifestyle. Now, here's a bird's eye view of Kushae products. All of our products are reasonably priced between $15 and $30, and they all share these particular attributes, being fragrance-free, pH balanced, and made right here in the US of A. And of course, made with natural and organic ingredients. Now, those attributes are special, but here's why Kushae is truly unique. Instead of picking up formulations off of a shelf, we started from scratch with the right experts. We started with OBGYNs, natural medicine practitioners, and chemists, and then tasked them with finding the right botanicals, what we call botanicals with benefits. Those botanicals that are specifically known to address the challenges that women are facing in feminine health and hygiene, in particular, inflammation, infection, and irritation. Combining those 2 powerful forces, voila, we've created the right formulations that are all protected through trade secret legal protections. How do we know they're the right formulations? Because all of Kushae products are gentle and rapidly effective, including our hero products, which you see presented here on the slide today. To my far left is our gentle 2-in-1 foaming wash. In the middle is our natural deodorant spray. 1 spray a day keeps those sweaty odors away. And third is our boric acid suppository, which is again a prevention and treatment for BV and yeast infection and has been endorsed by the American College of Obstetrics and Gynecologists. Now, you don't have to take my word for it. Women love Kushae. We enjoy 4.5 stars across all online channels out of 5. And women are quoted with saying they love this product, that Kushae actually restores their confidence and that the immediate results are phenomenal. Now, all that hoopla has resulted in stellar traction and validation across multiple channels for Kushae, including OBGYNs who sell Kushae directly to patients in office. It garnered us a partnership with Whole Foods Market back in July of 2020. And amazingly, many of our products are segmented into the top 10 in their own product channel categories. The proof, ladies and gentlemen, is really in the pudding. Now, other brands have also gained traction in this industry, but I assure you that Kushae leads the pack. We are developed by an OBGYN, one of the first and only. All of our products are made with safe and natural ingredients. And again, we serve women from menstruation to menopause. So now that we've kicked the competition to the curb, let's talk about how Kushae goes to market and the business of getting Kushae into the hands of everyone. We sell through our e-commerce channel, Kushae.com, and then on the other side, our wholesale partners, Whole Foods Market, Amazon, and many other natural grocers across the country. Because those 2 channels are specifically different, we're going to be growing the business in 2 different ways. But successfully, we know that we have to go through aggressive e-commerce marketing. We have to open more doors in the US and Canadian markets, and we're looking forward to unique product innovation with new sustainable products to boot. We'll know we're on the right track because we'll be hitting mile markers and milestones that we've already identified, including more menstrual products, adding more menopausal products to the mix, and finally going global because we know that we're looking to own that space below the waist. Now, the magic is not only in our products, but in our team. There is me, yours truly, a host of folks that make the magic happen every day. And last but not least is our phenomenal physician co-founder, Dr. Barbara McLaren, board-certified OBGYN for over 25 years and now an 11-year breast cancer survivor. She is amazing. The only partner missing is P&G. In the near future, we're looking forward to a strategic partnership with P&G, where P&G could potentially lend their expertise around retail expansion, manufacturing, R&D, and potentially become fiscal partners in our future growth. And so I invite everyone today to join us and the over 60,000 women who have already purchased and fallen in love Kushae as we try to save and support women's health one Kushae at a time. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Kimba Williams, and I am the CEO and co-founder of Kushae. And essentially, we are natural care for down there. Thank you so much.
Kimba, what an amazing pitch. Kushae is a fantastic innovation. What a fantastic story, how compelling. But, you know, I don't matter in all this, so we need to get to our judges. And we're going to turn it over to them for a few minutes of questions. And so over to you, judges, and questions for Kimba and Kushae.
Thanks, Phil.
You're on mute, Saeed.
This is Saeed Amidi from Plug and Play. Congratulations. You know, one of our startup, which is for men's grooming down there, just became worth $1 billion. And I believe, other than having a product that works and in the sensitive parts, their claim to fame is their subscription marketing. And the client that pay, I believe, $20 to $30 a month to subscribe to the company's direct e-commerce site. How much of your business model works towards subscription base versus selling through Amazon or Whole Foods or even direct? Do you have any subscription customers that are willing to sign up for $20, $30 a month?
Sure, that's a great question. So about 85% of our business is direct to consumer, so through our e-commerce channel, Kushae.com. Before or pre-pandemic, we saw about a 25% subscription rate of those consumers. We have seen it dwindle a bit, and I think it's because most consumers are a little protective of their futures and what's going on from a subscription and money perspective. And so we look forward to continuing our subscription-based programming, but our return rate in general is over 55%, even without a subscription. So we are well poised and in a position where women love Kushae and will come back, subscription or not. I hope that answers your question.
Yeah, but if I had only one comment, subscription is hard, but if you could sign them up for a year, you really will have a client for life almost. But that's sort of my 2 cents worth. Yeah.
And
I just want to also echo, really great job, great pitch. I love the products that you've come out with so far. The one thing that's running through my head is, as you think about product development for an early stage startup, you have a number of products already. How have you thought about how you're developing new products, what cadence, and how they're synergized across the platform?
Sure. So the fact that Dr. Barb, as we affectionately call her, my co-founder, she is still very much in a full-time OBGYN practice of her own. And so we are very, very lucky to have very specific feedback from women on an everyday basis. And so Dr. Barb leads our R&D department, and we've identified specific challenges that are consistent themes from women over and over and over again. So our R&D and our innovative pipeline is dictated by what we're hearing from women specifically, and those particular challenges that we haven't truly been able to address just yet, including the internal vaginal dryness challenge. That is one of our next innovative solutions that's coming up, and I'm super excited. It is going to be, like I mentioned, a game changer. The cadence, though, is the fact that you have to remember that women, again, we have life cycles, and that things happen to us at different positions in our lives. And so what I needed as a new mom is very different from what I need as someone going through premenopause. And so we want to make sure that we're serving women from menstruation to menopause. And as long as we continue to do that and stick to that mission, the cadence will make sense.
Just as a quick corollary, have you seen a lot of cross-selling across the different products with the same customer bases?
Absolutely. So we've created a number of bundles based on avatars and personalities. We know what the active women would probably want. We know what stay-at-home moms who are running after their kids would probably want. And so we've been able to identify specific personalities. And of course, people are different, but we've got some general ideas and offer bundle products to our women to make ordering with Kushae.com much easier.
Kimba, if I jump in here, first of all, fantastic job. Love the pitch, and having 7 sisters and 2 daughters, I have an appreciation for the market, for the available market, for that. One question though, one of the barriers, I appreciate all natural products, but one of the barriers in competition that you run into is pricing, right? Because that is the biggest barrier in terms of access. Everyone wants all natural, but some can't afford it. You mentioned the $15 to $30 sort of price range, which seems reasonable. Is that sort of competitive price range you feel sustainable as you expand your products? And does that give you,
Absolutely.
Does that provide you the margin that you need to sustain the business?
Oh, absolutely. We enjoy a very healthy margin for a couple of reasons. First, of course, we promote Kushae. Our brand positioning is as a physician's formula. There are not many physician's formula in this particular market, and so we can ask and get premium pricing for our products. We do use the best natural and organic ingredients, and so that dictates premium pricing as well. But think about Whole Foods Market. You know, someone years ago would have said, can you compete with the general grocery store? And I think they've shown us that they can. And so these products are particularly for women who are going to prioritize health. And in that case, money doesn't matter, because as we always say, you pay now or you pay later when it comes to health. And the women, over 60,000 of them who have already paid for Kushae, understand why they're prioritizing their health, and that's what matters to them. So yes, I believe it's sustainable, and I believe other markets, including Whole Foods and several other premium grocers, have proven as such. I hope that answers your question.
It does.
And
Thank
if I may ask some
I'm
basic question.
I'm sure we could probably go on with a lot of questions, but unfortunately, my fun job is to keep us on time. Kimba, your passion for Kushae comes shining through even in a virtual environment. Congratulations on what you've built so far, and good luck here. So time for us to meet our, yeah, take care, absolutely. All right, time for us to meet our next finalist. I'd like everyone to meet Dr. Nicole Scott, co-founder and CEO of Cybele. Cybele is a line of skincare products specifically created to target your unique skin biome's individual needs. Nicole, welcome. We're thrilled to have you, and over to you for your dynamic pitch.
Thank you so much, Phil. Honored to be here amongst such amazing people, and it's been amazing to connect with them. Hi, my name is Nicole Scott. I'm a PhD geneticist and the CEO of Cybele Microbiome. Today, skincare products target symptoms and not problems. We use the microbiome to treat problems directly and create healthier skin. Our microbiome is the bacteria, single-celled organisms, and viruses that live as a community. This community is crucial to our health. Many of us are aware of how the microbiome provides nutrients in the gut, the same way the microbiome provides health to the skin. 85 million people in the US alone struggle with lifelong skin conditions: acne, eczema, psoriasis, atopic dermatitis. This means multiple trips to the doctor, who's basically guessing and checking, and the solutions they get are products with terrible side effects. There's no solution and no prevention. That's 1 in 6 people with skin conditions, including myself. These are some of my atopic dermatitis bouts from 2019 alone. In the US, we're paying $40 billion in out-of-pocket costs on these conditions. I too have been trying to get relief for years. I've gone to doctors, they're basically guessing and checking. In fact, I don't even try to go to doctors for relief now because the solutions that they keep giving me have dangerous long-term side effects. I've got to choose from things that suppress my immune system to harm my kidneys to thin my skin. These prescription and over-the-counter solutions try to treat the symptoms and not the problem. Cybele's system treats the problem by boosting true skin health by using your own microbiome. This means 0 side effects, 0 doctor visits, and 100% natural. And it's actually more effective than prescription products. We've launched the revolutionary skincare brand Rouleau to showcase these products. Rouleau solves skin conditions by increasing your skin health. We think of your cosmetic products as food for your skin biome. We don't try to use probiotics. We don't try to put a microbe that doesn't belong on your skin. We leverage your skin microbiome to make compounds that increase your skin health and have no side effects. Our first products in Rouleau target the ceramides. Ceramides are essential building blocks of your skin barrier. Ceramides regulate key cell functions. At Cybele, our topical serum teaches your skin how to build with bricks, but competing products are actually layering on straw. And the way the cosmetics industry is currently getting ceramides is bad for the environment. They're getting it from the plasma of overweight dairy cows. We've got a better way. We're incredibly safe. We've done numerous patch tests, clinical studies, and laboratory safety tests. In fact, in our most recent IRB-approved 15-week study, we had highly significant changes in inflammation and beauty. This includes changes in sensitivity, redness, irritation, itchiness, inflammation, hyperpigmentation, moisture, skin tone, amongst others. In fact, our dermatologists reviewed our before and after photos and saw improvements in mottling and redness, scars, decreases in hyperpigmentation, decreases in mottling the skin and redness and hyperpigmentation, reductions in hyperpigmentation, redness, acne, increased vitality, decreases in hyperpigmentation, comedones, and increased vitality, and even scar reductions. It's natural. Our solution treats the problem, resulting in more effectiveness and 0 side effects. By feeding your skin biome, we get totally natural, native ceramide compounds. By solving the problem and having no side effects, we've created a solution that can be used preventatively. This saves customers thousands of dollars a year. At Cybele, our products are made on your skin. We currently have a high margin on a $67 bottle of serum, not at scale. We can purchase our ingredients at scale made by CMOs. Our customers also give us rave reviews. We have customers like Wendy, who saw great results with their skin texture and tone, and even surprised her own dermatologist. Or Amanda, who saw changes in scars and loved the simplicity of the routine. We've launched our direct-to-consumer brand through Rouleau based on focus group discussions. We've created a phenomenal experience around our products and assessment. Because the experience is so positive, we have incredible retention and low churn amongst our subscribers. But let me walk you through that experience. The journey begins when customers take a quick quiz based on their skin conditions. From this treatment plan, healing can begin with the very first delivery of our serum. We also deliver microbiome assessments. With this skin assessment and continuous subscription, we can further dial in our products and get even better results so that customers see better value. We saw a massive opportunity in inflammation sufferers that haven't found any results from physicians. Inflammatory concerns tend to run in families, so there's a natural organic growth, and we've already experienced this from early customers. Because of the unique and compelling results for these inflammation concerns, we've seen customers in additional spaces such as beauty, functional, and moisture as well. Based on our current numbers, we're poised to hit more than $1 million ARR in less than 12 months. We're also targeting long-term customers. Other companies in this space lack integration between consumer and R&D. They're either repackaging common ingredients or have a simple test for consumers without any kind of product or solution. We're the only company offering a way to identify the problem and also provides a solution. Plus, since we have a platform, we can make many, many more such products. In fact, we have 9 patents pending and 4 other assets that are ready to be made into products. In fact, long-term, our IP-protected platform, combined with the network effect from our longitudinal diagnostic data collection, allows us to create more solutions and products and will provide a moat for our growing brands of health products. And those other assets I was just talking about, here's just one example. We have figured out how to get your skin biome to make hyaluronic acid. That's the most common ingredient in anti-aging cosmetics. But Rouleau is just the tip of the iceberg. Our platform can continue to act in the skin space or other spaces such as supplements, personal care, and even pets. In the next 2 years, we'll expand into anti-aging lines, plant supplements in the skincare space, as well as diagnostics in adjacent spaces. We're the right team to lead. I'm an expert in the microbiome with over 20 years of experience. I was the first employee at my last company where I commercialized the microbiome in the industrial sector. My awesome co-founder, Brian, has brought numerous products to market and is an expert in growth. He's led over 100 million in sales and growth. Rouleau has been a solution for me. People like me with atopic dermatitis, eczema, psoriasis, we're one of the largest growing segments in skincare and cosmetics, and we want solutions. But our products don't just solve my problems. Tom was a participant in our recent clinical study. We launched products because Tom wanted to know how we could keep using the product after the study ended. He's now a customer going on 6 months. He stopped using his topical hydrocortisone for inflammation as he didn't like the side effects. He felt our serum solved his problem and prevented a new one. We'd love to partner with P&G to have support for our brand, access to scale, and build more products together. This is just the beginning. If you use this QR code, you'll get access to a subscription member level discount to try our revolutionary new products. It's only good until the end of CES. Thank you very much.
Awesome. Nicole, what a great pitch. How provocative. I love this biome construct. But again, my thoughts don't really matter in all this, at least not yet. So, so over to our esteemed judges for some terrific questions for you. So judges.
Hi, go ahead, please, Victor.
Oh, thank you. Great presentation. I do have a question around the mechanism of action that you referred to that seems to generate the different compounds, ceramides, and maybe hyaluronic acid on the skin. Can you talk a little bit more about that? And can you also, as you do that, how would that be different versus other microbiome-based solutions that we kind of seen? I mean, I literally get lots of emails around magical solutions in this space. So can you elaborate on that?
Right. So our products are prebiotics. So we're feeding very specific targeted compounds to your skin microbiome. And then the skin biome is actually making these specific long chain ceramides for you. So that's a very, very different mechanism of action. We are not putting any microbes. We're not no probiotics. This is literally using what already exists there.
If I may ask, how different is one product for one customer versus the other? And is it a custom-made product, or is the serum works with 80% of the clients that may have the same symptoms or problem?
So our product works on nearly everyone because the functional piece of what's on your microbiome is what we're targeting, the common functionality. And there's a lot of commonality between our microbiomes and what they're doing. And so through the experience that our questionnaire and the assessments that we're doing, we are able to point them to the best product amongst our lineup and also the routine and experience.
Great.
Nicole, this is a great pitch. As someone whose skincare routine has moved from 1 product to 7 products, I'm open for business on new products. So I love this one. Hey, my question, which is, so one of the things that we've struggled with is habit formation, which is having consumers deal with the complexity and usage and stick to the routine. So how critical is the subscription model for you? And how do you feel about what would need to be different or similar to be successful in bricks and mortar stores versus DTC?
So the subscription piece really because it's dialing in the products and routine, it really hooks people in. And we're actually better able to meet the person's needs, if you imagine over time. So that's one piece of it. So there's sort of a natural subscription piece to it. The other piece is, I think you mentioned, how do you hook that into retail? I think it's the same thing. We're targeting a group of people, and I'm one of these people that has not found solutions and is actively looking, and they are researching, and they are, once you find something that works for you, you don't want to stop using it because you want the same effect. You don't want to have inflammation. You don't want to have the skin condition.
Nicole, could you describe, you mentioned 1 million ARR. Can you talk a little bit about, follow on what Guy asked, what is your distribution model? Can you talk a little bit about the distribution model that got you to that? I know part of it is subscription. I'm not clear whether that's all of it.
Yes, so that is our projected over the next 12 months. Our ARR, but our main area right now is e-commerce, but we also have distribution in Taiwan and Europe, and we are moving into Amazon.
Gotcha. And all that distribution is less about geography and more how do you get into the customer? So is it all direct to consumer currently? It is.
Yes. Okay. So right. So we're targeting that inflammation space, which we have found is a great group of people to meet via the SEM, and really because these are people actively looking and researching new products for their inflammation and skin concerns.
Okay.
Great pitch. I love the products. I also suffer from skin conditions, so I know this very well. And like Guy, I try a lot of different skin products. So this will be an interesting one to explore. My question is really around, a lot of products for skin conditions specifically have some type of dependency associated with them. So once you start down the path of using the product, to wean yourself off of the product, it can create additional inflammation and actually a worse problem. Are there any dependency issues associated with the products you're developing?
I think that's the great thing. We don't have any side effects. You can keep using the product. In fact, it can become a preventative for you, and it's got great beauty effects too. And so the fact is we're fundamentally creating healthier skin, and that's the part you're getting out of that cycle that you're normally in.
That's encouraging. And just a quick follow on too. You mentioned on one of your slides that you have proprietary bioavailable ingredients. Can you explain this just a little bit more, how they're proprietary?
Yeah, so those are the things that we're actually feeding the your skin biome. And so we have a strategy to protect those, which includes patenting, trademarking, and branding.
If I may ask a simple question, how much money have you raised?
Cut in, sorry. I have to play the velvet hammer role to make it equal for all. Nicole, fabulous pitch, super provocative. Thank you for joining us, and congratulations on being a finalist. Great question, judges. I assume Victor might be first to the line there, and I assumed right. but time to meet our third finalist. So welcome to Moody Solomon. Moody is the co-founder and CEO of Ripe, a business that uses science to keep food fresh for longer and reduce food waste. Moody, welcome. Glad to have you with us, and take it away.
Thank you so much, Phil. It's a pleasure to be here, and I'll jump right into it. So we have a massive global problem on our hands today that has devastating economical, social, and environmental consequences. That problem is food waste, and I'm here today to tell you how we at Ripe Labs are tackling this problem head on. First, let's put it in perspective. So over the next 10 minutes, by the time I'm done with this presentation, we will have wasted enough food to feed over 10 million people. That's enough to feed every single person in Vegas for over 2 weeks. That very same food waste is going to release over 60,000 metric tons of CO2 gas, which is equivalent to what 15,000 cars are going to release over the next year. And again, this is happening every 10 minutes. This is due to the fact that we have an unbelievably inefficient global food supply chain system. Up to 50% of all the food we produce goes to waste, and that food waste is experienced all across the supply chain, from the farm all the way down to the consumer, amounting to over $2.6 trillion in losses every single year. So to come up with a solution that is truly going to have a meaningful impact, it has to be easy to use, can be applied anywhere along the supply chain, and perhaps most importantly, an economical solution that our customers can adopt. And this is exactly what we did at Ripe Labs. We have developed a 100% safe, natural, patent-pending formulation that can be applied to virtually any surface, including stickers. You simply peel the sticker with our formulation, apply it to the fruit or a packaging of the fruit. It will release natural, volatile, active compounds that will extend the shelf life of the produce. So let me show you how. We have here 2 mangoes side by side. As you can see, the one on the left does not have a sticker. The one on the right is treated with the sticker. And at about day 14, the non-treated mango will start to prematurely rot, while the one on the right is a lot more resistant to the premature rotting. In essence, we've doubled the shelf life of this mango. And so the question on everyone's mind at this point is, how in the world do you guys do this? Well, the best way to explain this is to look at plants. Let's say, for example, you're walking by a lavender plant. You're going to smell the lavender. It's going to have a pleasant smell to us as humans. That's actually a secondary metabolite or a volatile compound that the plant is releasing that has a variety of attributes, one of which is to protect itself from invasive species, which include microbes and fungal species. And so what we do at Ripe Labs that's particularly unique is we can identify the specific compounds within those secondary metabolites that the plant releases that tackle specific post-harvest diseases in the vapor phase. That's the first step. The second step is to then encapsulate or trap these compounds by engineering a matrix that can extend their release rate over time, and then gives us the ability to apply that matrix or that formulation to a variety of surfaces, including stickers. You simply peel, apply the sticker to the fruit, and what we've essentially done is we've repurposed how plants have been protecting themselves for millions of years to extend the shelf life of fresh produce. Our formulation is 100% safe. In fact, it's compliant with both FDA and EU regulations. You can actually eat the formulation, or the stickers are actually edible. What this essentially means is we can go to market without pre-market approval necessary. Now, our ability to customize our solution offerings is key because when you look at the industry, we can offer our product in a variety of formats. For example, the stickers can be incorporated in the highly automated labeling machines that can process and label up to 20 million pieces of fruit per day. But of course, you're not going to add a sticker to every strawberry or blueberry. In this case, you could use our shelf defense labels to apply to your clamshell of the berries, which will extend the shelf life of those berries. We have sachets that could be applied to larger boxes of fresh produce. And we're also working on spray coatings that can be applied directly to the packaging materials, such as the trays of the fruits, so that our customers are essentially not adding anything into their supply chain. From an IP protection standpoint, we have, of course, multiple barriers to entry. First is our know-how. We have deep expertise in plant physiology and microbiology that we've garnered over the last 4.5 years, and a very deep understanding of post-harvest diseases and which diseases are affecting which fruits, as well as the kinetics and thermodynamics of volatile compounds. Our trade secrets are also key. We have been building a proprietary library of formulation combinations against a variety of post-harvest diseases, optimized controlled release delivery systems and custom manufacturing processes to develop these technologies. And last but not least, of course, our patents and trademarks. We have 4 pending applications, 5 to be filed this year, and international trademarks in over 40 countries. Behind this amazing technology is an equally amazing, talented, and very passionate team of engineers and scientists that we have garnered from the medical device, biotech, and agtech industry with one mission of tackling food waste. From a competitive landscape standpoint, Ripe Labs is quite unique. We do not need to be in direct contact with the product that we're protecting or extending the shelf life for. A lot of the technologies on the market today extend the shelf life by focusing more on the ripening process or the respiration process of the produce to put it in a form of hibernation. We directly target fungal growth, especially post-packaging where there are minimal solutions outside of refrigeration. We can be applied anywhere along the supply chain, and we can customize our delivery system to seamlessly fit within the existing supply chain. So last year we launched our pilot studies, and we have already garnered the interest of some of the largest household names in the industry, including the likes of Walmart and Aldi, and they have seen 50 to 100% shelf life extension. What does that mean? Well, for one of those largest global retailers, we added 2 days to their strawberries. We doubled the shelf life of their grapes by adding 8 days, and we added 15 days to their citrus fruits, which is significant by retail standards. This is where we are today. As you'll notice, the majority of our customers are bundled around the distributor and the retail segment. So our bread and butter is really B2B. However, the B2C or the end consumer is an enormous market opportunity in its own rights. But in order to break into this segment, we have to partner with someone that has deep expertise in bringing solutions into people's homes every day, and that's where P&G comes into play. So first, let's look at the consumer market. On average, the US household loses up to $2,000 of food annually. About a fourth of that is fruits and vegetables alone, and 66% of that is due to food spoilage. So we're really looking at an initial addressable market just for fruits and vegetables of over $10 billion. So how can Ripe Labs work with P&G? Well, we can first start with a strategic partnership to market and sell the stickers at people's home. You can simply buy a pack of the stickers and apply it to your fruit at home. We can bundle our labels with the food containers, the Glad food container line. We can even add our sachets to the zipper bags that include the snacks. And eventually we can use our coatings and the infusion of our compounds into existing food wraps to further strengthen their ability to extend the shelf life of produce. So this is what it would look like at your home. Those are actual tests that we've conducted in-house. This is what your strawberries would look like after 5 days if you just place them on the counter at room temperature. This is what it looks like when you add our label to the inside of that clamshell. If you add refrigeration, you can further extend the shelf life, of course, but there would still be significant mold growth after 14 days. We can inhibit that significantly with our solution. And we've ran a cost-benefit analysis and estimate that for every dollar a customer would spend on our technology, they could potentially save up to $4, meaning that they would see a 400% ROI. From a go-to-market strategy, we are looking at 2 phases. In the first phase, it would be a co-branding, co-marketing strategy with P&G to bring the solution to people's homes. And eventually, as we scale and grow, we can license out the formulation. It's volume-based pricing with average gross margins anywhere from 50 to 92%. And for our commercial milestones, we're looking at commercially launching in Q2 of this year, which we're really excited about. And we can launch as early as Q4 of 2022 in collaboration with P&G for the end consumer market. And we would be looking at breaking even as early as 2023. Tackling food waste is just the beginning. The power of this technology from an antifungal perspective and also the ability to customize and apply it anywhere along the supply chain, we envision many opportunities across multiple verticals across the entire P&G family. So to tie it all up, with this technology in partnership with P&G at the end consumer level alone, every year, Ripe Labs and P&G can save enough food to feed over 19 million people and prevent or save 5 million metric tons of CO2 gas from being released in the air we breathe. I'm Moody Solomon. Thank you so much, and we hope you join us in the fight against food waste.
Moody, wow. I mean, incredibly disruptive. Congratulations. And I've got a couple of burning questions, but I don't matter again. So over to our panel of judges. who I'm sure have some questions for you. So judges, over to you.
Moody, can I jump in first on this one?
Sure.
Mango lover and strawberry enthusiast here. So I loved your presentation. If you had thrown in bananas in there, I would have been even more jazzed, but I know you can deal with those, so that's good. The question is, you've got labels, sachets, coatings, sprays, stickers, and then refrigerated, non-refrigerated. So fruits and vegetables. So as it relates to the B2C opportunity, can you tell us where do you rank these priorities? So which would be the best sweet spot of form, of efficacy, and type of food, and then refrigerated or non? So what would be the biggest ones, and what are the ones that you think need more development?
Yeah, excellent question. I would say we typically see the largest amount of interest for high value, short shelf life. So that automatically translates to berries, mainly strawberries, blueberries, raspberries, cherries, for example. They have a very short shelf life, and outside of refrigeration, minimal solutions because of a variety of reasons that we could go into. Now for those, we would use the labels, and we would recommend to use them under refrigerated conditions to further extend their shelf life and prevent their losses.
Maybe I kind of know Drexel, the company, as well as Taylor Farm. And, like if you could land one of those companies in their consumer packaged goods, it would be like an incredible. Would you really consider going to the consumer directly at all if you could go through one of these $3 billion, $5 billion companies that if they really like your product, they could put it on every supermarket in every household in America?
Yeah, I mean, you've basically summarized our business model today, right? This is why we're going directly to those distributors, to the Driscolls of the world. That's our bread and butter, to market to those customers because they're very centralized, global, to your point, with massive operations. So it makes sense to go to them first. But it doesn't negate the fact that there's a huge market opportunity on the consumer side. But to break into this highly fragmented, difficult market, that's where the P&G collaboration would become really key.
But how much is your sales through Driscoll or Taylor Farm, or your projected sale this year?
Yeah, for this year, we project that we're going to launch in Q2 of this year, and we project revenue of $2.9 million to begin. And that's assuming that we're only capturing anywhere from 10 to 20% of their operations. So the assumption there is Driscoll's may be selling 1 billion clamshells of strawberries every year. They're not going to apply this to all 1 billion from the get-go. So we were quite conservative in terms of that projection.
Right.
Moody, excellent presentation and very disruptive. As Guy mentioned earlier, or Victor mentioned earlier. My question is along the line of supply chain. Is the supply chain? We're in the supply chain question, but it's going to sound a little bit different. So where do you have to capture? Where do you have to capture the moment to put this your sticker on? And I'm thinking, we're in the process from the farm to the table. At what point to make it effective for it to be most effective?
Yeah, really good question, and we've looked at this quite deeply. Fact of the matter is, as long as you can keep the pressure on the fungal strains and keep them suppressed for the longest period of time, that's where it's going to be most effective. So there's an opportunity to apply it right after post-harvest, right after it's picked at the farm level during the exporting process. And there's an opportunity then once it reaches the distribution centers to once again apply the technology perhaps in a different format that fits the clamshells closer to the end consumer level. So as long as you can keep that pressure and suppress the fungal strains, because a lot of the fruits we eat today, as much as people may not want to know, is already infected with with those fungi, which is completely fine for us humans to consume. It's just a matter of suppressing them so they stay at a low enough level to be safe for consumption. And so once again, this really highlights why this technology is so highly differentiated, because we have an ability to apply it anywhere along that supply chain. I hope that answers your question.
Thank you.
A quick one from my end. Do you need a different cocktail of antifungal compounds for different kind of fruits?
Yes and no. So we don't have one silver bullet formulation that works for everything, but we also don't have to customize or develop a different cocktail for every fruit or every fungal strain out there. What we develop, or what we try to develop, is a formulation with the broadest applicability possible.
So in my experience, this is a really profound ability to keep fruits and vegetables on the shelves longer, and it works from what I've seen. We worked with a company that was doing this with a very large grocery chain. The one challenge that we saw in doing that is when consumers have the option side by side to select fresh fruit versus fruit that has been preserved, regardless of the mechanism, right?
Yeah.
They prefer the fresh fruit. And so how have you seen the consumer adoption and just changing consumer behavior around opting for something that has been preserved?
Yeah, I think that's really going to be, once again, key of what our partnership would look like with P&G, because they know how to communicate to the end consumer. And the opportunity here is to really communicate to them that this is a 100% natural and safe way of suppressing the fungi and extending the shelf life without affecting the organoleptic properties or the quality of the produce for the consumer.
Moody, awesome pitch. Judges, great questions. I can't be the only person out there who's wondering if I wear it, will it preserve me longer? Okay, you do not need to answer that question. Anyway, all right, time for our last finalist. And I'd like to introduce you to Cindy Santa Cruz, who is the founder and CEO of Lady Patch, the only drug-free patch to prevent female bladder leaks and reduce the urge to urinate. Cindy, welcome. We're thrilled to have you, and over to you for your terrific pitch.
Thank you, Phil. Good morning, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to introduce to you my company, Lady Patch. Did you know 1 in 3 women pee their pants? That's right. 1/3 of women around the world suffer with incontinence. It's usually an after effect of childbirth or as a woman enters menopause. It's a huge, huge problem. But allow me to introduce to you our revolutionary solution, Lady Patch, the only drug-free patch to control your bladder. Lady Patch is founded by women for women, but Lady Patch isn't my story. It's my mom's story. In the early 80s, she wanted to lose some baby weight, and so she decided to join an aerobics class. And it was during that time, she never had a problem with incontinence before. It was during that time where she did her first jumping jack and was mortified that she was peeing on herself and couldn't control it, couldn't stop it. For years, she struggled and tried everything under the kitchen sink. Pads didn't work, tampons didn't work, panty liners didn't work. Nothing worked to stop the leaks. She just prayed one day and said, God, help me find a solution. And through divine intervention, inspiration actually, she formed this little patch. Put it on her clitoris, went to go do aerobics, and was shocked and amazed that she wasn't leaking on herself. Now, my mom does not have a background in medicine. She is a stay-at-home mom. No pads, no drugs, no surgery. Just one tiny but mighty patch is what kept her dry. Lady Patch helps with 4 different types of incontinence. Nocturia, when you wake up more than 2 times a night to urinate. Stress incontinence, when you leak a little urine with physical activity, such as laughing, coughing, sneezing, or jumping. Urinary frequency, the need to urinate many times during the day, like every 3 seconds when you were pregnant. How many women remember that one? Urge incontinence, a sudden and strong need to urinate. Sometimes you make it to the toilet and sometimes you don't. Lady Patch gives you more control over your bladder, so you'll urinate when you need to and not just feel like you need to. So how does Lady Patch help you master your bladder? Yes, it does go directly onto your clitoris, The main nerve of the clitoris is a direct branch of the pudendal nerve. The pudendal nerve controls bladder function. So by placing, our theory, by placing Lady Patch on the clitoris, you can control your bladder. During our clinical trial, 83% of women that had urinary urgency saw a decrease in their urgency instances. 67% of women that had stress urinary incontinence saw a decrease in their leakage episodes. And with that, we are FDA and California FDB approved. It is safe and effective. 0 side effects, ladies, 0 side effects. And so many of you wonder, wait a minute, how do I place this thing? What do I do with it? And I created a little tutorial for you. And don't worry, guys, you won't be embarrassed. Many of you ladies have asked us how and where to place Lady Patch. And we get it. It can be a little intimidating once you find out where it goes. Yes, it does go directly onto your clitoris. And no, it doesn't hurt. And we're here to show you where to place it. You can place it long ways like this, or you can place it sideways like this. Some women have found that if it's too big, they cut it in half for a better fit. The beauty of Lady Patches, you can wear it in whichever way is most comfortable for you. But don't take our word for it. Check out our phenomenal reviews on Amazon. And although I love reading through our reviews on Amazon, I love it when women message me directly. Many women have messaged me directly. One woman in particular was a bus driver and was contemplating quitting her job. She couldn't control the leaks. She couldn't control how many times she needed to urinate. She couldn't control the smell. She smelled like urine all the time. Don't know how she stumbled upon Lady Patch, but she did. Not only was she able to keep her job, but she was able to keep her dignity as well. Currently, there's a large existing market with $5 billion in suboptimal solutions, $2 billion in consumer products to only manage symptoms. Pads and adult diapers only collect the leaks. They don't stop the leaks. And this tiny but mighty patch stops the leaks. 1.8 billion in medications with significant side effects. Dry eyes, dry mouth, constipation. That's only to name a few. Lady Patch has 0 side effects. 1 billion in medical devices. The downtime, recovery time, incision, infection. Lady Patch is non-invasive. Lady Patch is uniquely and aggressively protected. We have 8 issued US patents and 2 registered trademarks. Here's our go-to market approach. Right now, Lady Patch is currently on Amazon for $19.99. We need the help of the Procter Gamble family. We need to incentivize at least 100 Lady Patch evangelists, influencers, physical therapists, OBGYNs to purchase and review in Q1 of 2022. It's word of mouth that really drives Lady Patch. It is a girlfriend's product. And it's with that we can learn from our customer feedback, make whatever changes we need to make, and then scale up. By year 2, with the help of Procter & Gamble, we could be in Target, Walgreens, Costco, CVS, Walmart, you name it. And right now, I am currently a one-man show, but I do have an amazing advisory team. Suzanne Sengelman, Tarang Amin, and Eric Weeder are my business advisors. They are my CPG marketeers, as I call them. They're amazing and they have helped so much along the way. My scientific advisors are one of the 3 top urogynecologists in the United States. And they love women's pelvic floor, so they're very, very helpful. Together with the Procter & Gamble family, we can help women all over the world stay dry, just like my mom. Remember, ladies who patch live boldly, laugh freely, sleep soundly, and live spontaneously. Again, thank you for your time, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Cindy Santa Cruz. I am the founder and CEO of the Lady Patch. I'm just a stay-at-home mom trying to give women back their freedom and a little sexiness.
Cindy, what a great pitch. How amazing to be inspired and work with your mother closely like that. That makes it that much, I'm sure, more heartfelt and enduring. So congratulations. But now comes the hard part, some questions from our judges. So judges, over to you for some questions for Cindy.
I can jump in. Cindy, great job. I want to just commend you so much. This is a huge problem. And I think one of the challenges you outlined is on the market currently, there aren't really great alternatives, right? Women suffer a lot from this problem, and there's a big market out there, and it's sometimes difficult to talk about, but you did an excellent job presenting it. So congratulations on that, first and foremost.
Thank you. Thank you.
I think one of the things that we've seen in this market of what I would call kind of personal or intimate products, especially in the men's category, when you're talking about like low T or erectile dysfunction, we've seen significant traction with kind of a direct to consumer model, right? So the confidence and the secrecy of being able to order it online, not having to go to the store and being embarrassed at checkout, et cetera, has shown a lot of traction. And there's been a lot of big exits in this category recently. When you think about consumer adoption and the ability of consumers to kind of embrace this and use it in lieu of, like you were saying, adult diapers, how have you seen the traction and has there been hesitation or embarrassment in having to use products like this and purchasing products like this?
Right. That's the beauty of being on Amazon, because Lady Patch is a taboo solution to a taboo problem. And Amazon provides a very private way of purchasing a product that you would you wouldn't want to purchase in front of people. So that has given us, some traction. The biggest problem, I would say, our biggest challenge, obstacle, is disbelief. Women don't believe that this little thing is going to help them. And that's why I believe word of mouth is huge for this type of product. This is a girlfriend's product.
Have you seen just the ease of use, right? Like the area where you would be applying the patch is kind of hard to see, right? And it seems like it's very manual in how you kind of have to insert it or place it on. Is the ease of use something that has been a barrier?
The ease of use, no, actually, that hasn't been a barrier. Well, let me say this. It's a new behavior. It's a new behavior. And so the new behavior has to be introduced. But once women have tried it and they stop leaking, they love it. So it's that, yes, it is that hurdle of getting over the first use. That makes sense.
Hey, Cindy, I just wanted to build on that. First of all, love it. The heartwarming picture of you and your mom, how you've helped her is just incredible. So love your story. And I love how simple. Question. So you mentioned that one of the things you want to do is get more consumer feedback to figure out what you need to do, if needed, to improve the product further. Tell me, what do you see as the biggest consumer issues or concerns? And let me do a 1B, which is, are there times when consumers or women really want to take this off? I'm thinking about intimacy or other occasions. And are there any negatives associated with bladder control when it's taken off? So maybe you can help me a little bit with what are the biggest issues? And given this is a new habit in an intimate area, what concerns do you have in terms of potential improvements?
Okay, so yes, the biggest challenge we have right now is for some women, it's sliding off. It's not sticky enough. So it puts us in a position, I don't see it as a problem. I see it more as like an opportunity that we can create another SKU. Right now, Lady Patch is sold as a dual product. We have regular for like everyday use, and then active for exercise, going out. For the women that it does slide off on, we can create like a super sport, a stickier patch, and we can even create one for overnight, which is a more gentle patch. And for the women that for intimate time, once you take the patch off, your body goes back to normal. What you would say normal. When we say there are 0 side effects, your body really just kind of adapts to being back to biofeedback. So your body just relearns to not leak on itself. So when you take it off during an intimate time, most women are saying I wasn't going to say this, but most women are saying they're having better sex, stronger orgasms. So they're very, very happy. I like to think of Lady Patch saving relationships.
Thanks, Cindy. Super helpful.
Okay, thank you.
May I ask where you got the price $19.99, and is that like for 1 month consumption, or how much would it cost some ladies per month to be on this product?
Right. So $19.99 is just a price point that we decided with my other business advisors. It was just a good number. And monthly, the Lady Patch, the regular comes with 18 patches, and the active patch comes with 18 patches. So if a woman uses one a day, it'll last her, 4 to 6 weeks, 4 to 5 weeks. If they purchase it twice a month, because they're using it twice a day.
I think the marketing aspects of it, like Dollar Shave Club or other subscription models, if you go to some number, like even this disposable eye lenses, they go to certain number per day. And if it really is a life-changing experience, like $1 a day would be a good number to say you would have a better life and better. So again, I don't know how you market it, but it's somehow saying this much per day would change your life, and you just should try it for 3 months. I think that would be a great way to get people to use it and then stick with it, hopefully.
Yeah, I'm open to anything. I think that would be great too.
Awesome. Cindy, thank you so much for the powerful presentation and the life-altering aspect of Lady Patch. Congratulations. And to Kimba, Nicole, Moody, and Cindy, wow. I can see why the 4 of you made it through to our 4 finalists. I know it was hard for even our judges to assess to get you here, but wow, what great stories, what great pitches, what life-changing innovations that you all are creating. But now we get to turn it over to our judges, who will have 10 minutes to deliberate on our winner. And so we're going to send them off to do a challenging task, and come back and let us know when they've decided, and we'll award our winner for the Innovation Challenge. And while they're doing that, I also have a privilege of having a conversation with 2 terrific people, Colin Campbell and Michelle Van Tilborg, who are both serial entrepreneurs. Love that description. And they are co-owners of the Startup Club, which is the #1 community out on Clubhouse. As a quick aside, I'll mention that P&G Ventures is collaborating with Startup Club throughout CES this week to host some great conversations talking about entrepreneurship, fundraising, developing a great idea, pitching, and so many more. So, and in fact, I know many of you are joining us today as we're simulcasting the Innovation Challenge on Clubhouse right now. So, Michelle, Colin, hello. Thanks for joining us. Nice to meet you. Sorry we're not, in Vegas doing this together, but I really appreciate the opportunity to have a conversation with you all.
Absolutely. It was definitely a pivot. Really would have enjoyed being in Vegas, but you know what? Listening to it live here and also on Clubhouse is pretty exciting as well. I think this must be a first where P&G is streaming through Clubhouse as well. So.
And we're super excited about that. So so thank you for the collaboration and partnership. We're thrilled. Do I see Michelle out there? There you are. I see a picture now.
Here. Yes.
We have a picture of you, Michelle.
Oh, excellent. Thank you. Yeah, this has been an amazing experience, and thank you again for having us. We're so thrilled that we're able to bring the Startup Club on Clubhouse members this amazing competition. Thank you.
Absolutely. Absolutely. While you're there, so why don't we just spend a little bit of time? Obviously, a lot of people are coming in to us from Clubhouse, but also from streaming from other means to hear this. So why don't you do a little bit about, tell us a little bit about Startup Club and what does it really offer the entrepreneur, Michelle?
Absolutely. So our whole goal with the Startup Club is to help people connect, learn, and grow. It's really that straightforward. Core to our beliefs, Colin and I, in the past and currently, is that if you can surround yourself with people that you can vet ideas, learn from, that just takes you infinitely more, ahead of the game. So it's really critical for us that we're always providing amazing content that fuels that whole ecosystem. So whether you're a startup yourself, a person like these folks that we've heard, starting a startup, or you're a VC investor, or you're somebody who wants to work at a startup, you're more than welcome, and we encourage you to join us on our sessions. We also have amazing content that we've been building out on our website, which is www.startup.club. So for us, it's all about the community and the members and helping them connect, learn, and grow. Thank you.
Awesome, Michelle. Just since joining myself and knowing we were going to be together today, just perusing all the great topics that you all are sharing with the community, it's really, really impressive. So yours and Colin's kind of curation of this is really fantastic. So Colin, over to you. A couple of questions. So you've been involved in many businesses, startups. I'm sure our audience would love to know, what are the kinds of things that you think about when you decide personally to lean in and get started on taking something from the ground up? What are things that you look for in an opportunity?
Yeah, well, ideas are everywhere. I know in my first job, I was looking for ideas. I think that we've never been in a better time in history to launch a startup. And if you can see ideas like we did today, when Cindy was talking about the lady patch, her mother had experienced an issue, a problem. And this often happens in startups, is where they identify a problem or an issue, and then they actually develop a product and take that to market. And we see that happening over and over again. On Clubhouse, on one of our sessions, there was a lady named Marsha Reese, and she actually has done about 100 products. And one of her claims to fame is sidewalk chalk. And with that, she says that she was trying to develop a product that an idea that would solve an unfulfilled need. You could use regular chalk, but she thought, we need better chalk for the sidewalks. And the one thing that I will say is listening to a lot of these serial entrepreneurs on Clubhouse, learning from them, it's incredible. It's an incredible experience. I know Michelle was talking about that on Startup Club. But if you are a startup out there and you have an idea, you want to take it to market, I think the first place to stop is Startup Club on Clubhouse and just connect with a lot of other entrepreneurs and those in the ecosystem.
I love that message, Colin. We talk a lot about starting, falling in love with the consumer problem or the consumer challenge or the tension in their lives as the most critical thing to start versus don't fall in love with the technology. So love that message. All right, Michelle, I'm going to ask you. One of the things I loved about kind of reading up on you, as I should do before we do these kinds of things, you have a great description on Startup Club. Underneath your name. And the quote is, it all starts with a great idea, the right domain, community building, and relentless execution. I'd like to actually talk a little bit about your opinions around relentless execution. I think most people, when they think about innovation, do think about things like a great idea and whatnot, but I was curious as to why you put relentless execution into your description there. Anything you'd like to build on with us?
Sure, absolutely. So what I've found is where oftentimes people fail is, they might have this fantastic idea, but if they don't build the systems or the processes and the team to support going to market, that's relentless execution, they won't succeed. It's very, let's just say, oftentimes we might have great ideas, but the hardest part is to really get it done. And, that might take years. And it takes a lot of discipline. It takes a lot of personal sacrifice oftentimes. If you don't have that team and that infrastructure and that mindset in place, it's very difficult to make it out of the gate.
It's a really good point. I think people don't often associate words like and activities like discipline with entrepreneurship, but couldn't agree more with you in that space. So thanks for allowing me to kind of poke at something, but I 1000% support it, which is awesome. So again, for our listeners and people who have joined us, and this question is for both of you. At some point throughout your career, whether that be a mentor or, someone has given you arguably a piece of advice that when you look back on it, maybe you didn't know it was a profound piece of advice at the time it was being shared with you, but that stuck with you and that you pull from many times in your career. I'd love each of you to share with our, listeners that best piece of advice that you ever received that you feel really shaped you as a serial entrepreneur and someone who thrives in this space. So let's start with you first, Colin.
Yeah, I go back to 2006 when I was running a small publicly traded company. And, it was a startup. We had just gone public. And the numbers we started flatlining. And as a tech company, that's not a good thing. We were getting blindsided by the end of the quarter when we found out certain numbers or sales or contracts were not coming in. And then my board started to move against me. So it was because we were in a minority position, my brother and I, in the company. And so then I brought in a CEO coach, a gentleman named Patrick Thean from Rhythm Systems. And we implemented a number of things and systems to help the company scale and grow. But I think the one thing that really made a big difference for us was goal setting. Annual, quarterly, weekly goal setting, which put all of the employees in alignment. We brought these changes in, and our company began to accelerate its growth rate, and we ended up selling to a Fortune 500 company 3 years later.
That's awesome, Colin. If I could, and we're getting cued to stretch a little because the judges are having a hard time, so that's good. Okay. I enjoyed this.
We love that.
We love that, right? Exactly.
A hard decision.
Yeah, it was a hard decision. Those were some fantastic pitches. And Michelle, we see you now, which I love. I'm curious what behaviors changed in your organization as you set those goals, Colin. I think there's two parts to that, right? There's always the how do I set the goal and make them probably short-term goals to meter the spending, what have you. But what did you see in your organization as a construct of behavior changes as a result of shaping and adhering to those goals?
Well, first of all, by setting an annual goal and a quarterly company goal, now everyone within the organization understands where we need to go. And just communicating that is important and getting everyone in alignment. Now, we would take goal setting down to the individual as well. So everyone would set up personal goals. And these were 3 to 5 measurable and specific goals that you would try to achieve for that quarter. And then we would do a weekly meeting where we'd red, yellow, green those goals. And by doing that, we really identified early on in the quarter where things were not connecting or we might be an issue because everyone would have to announce, I'm behind on this or I'm doing great with this or whatever. So we were able to actually deliver a higher level of performance with these top executives that I was working with. And I think that's pretty cool. You take your A players and you really add some additional systems and a rhythm to the company, and you can see your company scale.
I love that, Colin. I love the transparency of it. I also love what I would believe happened too as a result of that is, people leaning in to help in areas where there were shortcomings or things weren't necessarily working. So I would sense it drove a sense of collaboration and connection too, which is awesome. All right, Michelle, over to you. Going back to the original question, that one piece of advice that you received at some point in your career that when you look back at it, thought, wow, that was a real turning point, or that really has stuck with me over the years.
Absolutely. So for me, it was about, forming mentorships, but not just forming mentorships, but folks that I could surround myself with to learn from. You hear that, in your grad school, you're talking, right, like planning out a business, but until you really live it, you do not realize the value of it. At first, a lot of startups, they want to really hold their issues or their ideas close to themselves, right? They're afraid. But the truth of the matter is if you surround yourself with the right people and you get into the right networks or group or club, whatever it is, you can just benefit from that infinitely. So what do I mean by that is really being authentic and forming these friendships, whatever, mentorships with people that have been there, whether they've succeeded or they've failed. I mean, there's just nothing like talking to somebody and learning from somebody who's been there and done that. So for me, you hear, about mentorships, you hear about coaches, but I think there's a whole other level where you develop your own community that you surround yourself with, that you trust, that you can pick up the phone at any time, schedule a lunch with at any time and really learn. But what's key to that is really finding those people that are subject matter experts or that have actually been there and really doing that. And that's something, by the way, that I think that your studio has been able to offer folks that I think is quite amazing. Colin actually has an incubator here in Fort Lauderdale where we're trying to foster as well that kind of conversation.
That's great. Such good advice, Michelle. I mean, I think, and I'd like to even double down on a couple of points. I mean, I think it is about mentorship, and I'll speak about my own, behaviors. I learned many years ago about kind of building your own personal board of directors around people that could sit around a table and you could visualize and know that they were always there to help you, sometimes to push you. I got great advice around ensuring that board of directors was very diverse and that, some people you may not like, but you knew that they offered you really good perspective. It wasn't about, necessarily liking everyone around you, but respecting their opinion and listening to them because, complex, challenges require, complex input and complex thinking. So I love that message and I love the learning one. And you have to kind of be open to listen as those advisors are giving you that really good advice. And take that back, and then as the leader, you then ultimately have to choose what and how you want to incorporate. So I think that's a fantastic message.
Yeah, getting into an incubator like the one we have here in Fort Lauderdale, or there's another one that I'm involved with called the Alan Levan Center. And this is supported by a lot of donations, a lot of government funding. And just if you have an idea, you have a startup, connecting, getting yourself into one of these centers around the globe, wherever you are, they do exist. This is not, I'll use one of Hillary's lines, it takes a village. It really does when it comes to a startup. Yeah,
absolutely. Well, I could do this for like another hour, but I have gotten word that there is a decision that has been made. Michelle, Colin, thank you so much. And thank you for allowing us to partner with you the Startup Club and out on Clubhouse. We're thrilled about this, and we look forward to continuing to partner with you all. So thank you for joining, and thank you to all of the listeners out there. We really appreciate you too. All right, so I'm going to now turn it back over to our judge and president of new business at P&G, Guy Perceau, to do the very exciting announcement of our winner. Guy, over to you.
Perfume, it's like bullshit, but it became worth it.
Guy, you there?
Tools.
I think we're trying to get to you on audio.
Do we hear this part, or
You can see me, but
I don't know if you're hearing me. There you go. Guy, you there? Yeah, we're still trying to work the audio, sounds like, at the crucial moment of reveal. Guy, you might have to write it on a piece of paper if you can hear me.
now I can hear you. Now I can hear you.
We can hear.
So tell me, you had a question, right? Because I totally missed you there, Phil. The audio wasn't.
I was just tossing to you, Guy, for the very exciting announcement and reveal of our winner.
Okay, super, awesome. Well, listen, I've got 3 things to share, but I first want to share how tough this was for us judges. I have to tell you, if we could have had another 20 minutes, we would have used it, but probably would have lost some of you because, I know you've got other things to do. So we forced a call. Any of the 4 outstanding finalists, and I just wanted to say to Kimba, Nicole, to Moody, to Cindy, it was outstanding. Any of the 4 finalists could have won. And I'm going to comment on that in a second. Just the uniqueness of the ideas, the passion on the consumer pain points, and the speed with which, considering everything that's been happening in the last couple of years, you guys have gone from concept, idea to product to market is incredible. And I know that this, hopefully beyond partnering with us and working with us, is going to increase a lot of exposure. Not that you guys are going to need it because you all have fantastic ideas, but I really think this is going to hopefully help increase a lot of exposure to the brilliant stuff you guys are doing. So we do have a winner, and I'm going to share that now. As I said, it was a forced call, and then I want to comment on the other 3. So the winner we have is, you can see it, Lady Patch. So congratulations, Cindy. Whoops. Congratulations. This is fantastic for you. We're so excited. We just felt like this is something, women around the world are going through. Your mother went through it. It's something that really, as we were talking about thriving as you age and really having dignity and, not trying to fix a problem that you're broken, but actually having an incredible life and not having to, and being able to overcome these barriers. So we just thought that was just a wonderful, wonderful innovation that you've created. So we're looking forward to talking to you about it. But also, we just wanted to thank you for the passion you put into it and your story, your personal story. So thank you. And congratulations. We have one more thing, Phil, that I'd love to share. I don't know if I'm still on, but we made okay, perfect. We made an exception because we felt like these innovators were just so awesome. And while we wouldn't be true to form if we gave 4 $10,000 prizes, we are going to make an exception here and give another 3 $5,000 prizes and awards to our other 3 finalists because we felt they were just outstanding. As I said, it was a really tough call. So we just like to congratulate each of you because you will each be getting one of these, but more importantly, just, all of our support and everything to help with advice, with partnership to take things to the next level. So I just wanted to share that too. And finally, all the people who submitted and all the founders who submitted ideas, we had a record number this year, and it was just an incredibly inspiring event for us because, we work in a big company. Sometimes we don't see all the stuff that's happening outside. And it was a humbling experience for us to see what you guys are doing. And we are looking forward to next year.
Awesome. Guy, thank you so much. Congratulations, Cindy, and congratulations, Kimba, Nicole, and Moody, too. We're privileged to find you, to work with you, and celebrate the incredible innovation that you've created. Thank you to all of our judges, Saeed, Sarah, Lee in particular. Michelle and Colin enjoyed the conversation, and please join us on Clubhouse after this for an exclusive conversation with our winner, Cindy, and our other finalists. And do keep in touch with us at P&G Ventures through the pngventuresstudio.com, and follow us on Twitter and LinkedIn as well. Anyway, thanks everyone for joining us, and have a great rest of your day or wherever you are in the world. Take care, everyone. Thanks for joining the P&G Innovation Challenge.